And welcome back to the show where we're heading into the world of theatre right now because there is an amazing production on at the Alex Theatre at the moment in St Kilda. It's called Ruthless the Musical, and one of the stars of that show is Dolly Diamond, and we've actually got her on the phone right now to chat about this amazing show. Welcome to the program, Dolly Diamond.
Well, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
So, Dolly Diamond, tell us a little bit about Ruthless the Musical. It's taken St Kilda by storm. What can we expect from this amazing show?
Well, we're absolutely loving it, and I think it's one of those musicals that's not that well known, but yes, audiences are loving it, and that's obviously great. It's about a little girl that wants to become a star, and the ruthless journey that she goes on to get there. And now I play, well, not an unscrupulous, but a bit of an agent and manager that's, willing to do most things to get this little girl represented and on stage. It's got, there's only 6 of us in it, which is very small really for a musical, but everybody gets a moment, and that's what I love.
So you just described Sylvia as a little bit scrupulous. Tell us a little bit about Sylvia. What's her motivations?
Well, she really wants this little girl to be a star, which obviously means that Sylvia would do well out of it. And, I think what it is that by the end of the show, you learn a little bit more about these relationships, and they are a lot more connected than you think they are in the beginning.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about how you became involved with the show, and what did you think when you first sat down and read the script for this show?
Well, I watched it off Broadway probably about 9 years ago, and I loved it. And I thought, oh, that's a role for me, that one. And, now cut to, late last year, middle of last year, and I knew that it was coming on in Melbourne, and I thought, right, I've got to get that role. And obviously I did. And I just think it's such a fun musical, and it's also, I love the fact that it's never really been done in Australia. It's been done once in Australia, and that was in Sydney, and it's got such a surprise element to it, and it's almost like watching a play with songs rather than all singing, all dancing all the way through. There's some wonderful scenes that we get to act in, and literally working with some of the best in the business.
So I want to talk a little bit about that journey. You saw the show 9 years ago, and then you heard it was coming to Melbourne. Yes. How did you then make sure that you got a role in this show? Did you hunt down the right people?
I was in England, and I was on my social media, as we do, scrolling in probably the wee hours of the morning, and I saw an ad, and it was Ruthless, and I thought, oh, there we are, it's coming to Melbourne. And I sent them a message, and they said they hadn't even done auditions yet. And I, obviously being me, I said, well, you don't need to audition for this role. I'm willing to do it. And, obviously they didn't sign me up right away, but they almost did, because I think, there are roles that you watch and you think, oh, I could definitely do that. I don't do that a lot. And, I've learned now that many, as I've gotten a little older, and, we all have, haven't we? And I've noticed that how difficult it is, all that singing and dancing. So you've really got to want to be, in your right mind to agree to do something like this, because the work involved is enormous.
Yeah.
And obviously once you've learned it and it's up and running, that's when all that work that you've done really pays off, and you think, oh, I'm so glad I did this. So I didn't bribe anyone, but I did convince them I'd be right.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about, with the actual show, what was it about it that made you want to do this role? You said that this was a role that when you watched, you knew you wanted to do that role. What was it about that role that made you want it so badly?
Well, she's, one of those characters that's very formidable, and she's a real presence on the stage. I mean, I guess really in this, a lot of them are. That's what this musical is. The writer was very clever in the way that he wrote it, and they're all strong characters. They all bound onto the stage and have these incredible show-stopping numbers, and Sylvia does as well. And I love women like that. My mother was a woman like that. I am, and it's the only way, isn't it? So I think that's what truly do it. A role that I knew I could do, rather than, I'm probably not going to be Eponine in Les Mis. I mean, I've realised it now. I'm probably not going to be Annie. So Sylvia is right up my alley.
You've also got an absolutely amazing cast around you as well. Tell us a little bit about the cast that you share the stage with each night.
Well, as I mentioned, they've all got their own show-stopping number. And, Brittany Leslie is Judy Denmark. My word, she's got a phenomenal voice. I'm going to say that about all of them, aren't I, really? And, but once you've seen this, you'll know what I'm on about.
Yep.
It's just, the lineup is incredible, and I feel blessed to be in it.
Now, you talked about the musical numbers. Do you have a favourite number that you get to perform in this show?
Well, I think I want the girl. Judy Denmark has just told me that I'm not allowed to represent her daughter, and that she wants me out. And I say, basically, you say I can have anything that I want. Well, I want the girl. I want to represent the girl. It's such a powerful number. We row in the middle of it, and then off she goes, and then I finish the number on my own. And yes, I mean, why wouldn't I love that moment?
Now, Ruthless the Musical is directed by Chelsea Matheson. Tell us a little bit about Chelsea as a director and what you feel she brings to the show as well.
She absolutely awful. No, of course, she was wonderful. And, I'm used to doing cabaret where I normally direct my own performance because I know what I'm doing and I know where I want to be and I know all of that. Well, I arrived day one ready and willing and listening, and that lasted about an hour. And then once that was over, I thought, right, you better get onto this. And I guess it's just so refreshing to work with someone. She didn't over-direct. She let us really behind the role. She got us all in the right positions, and every now and again, I would say, well, but what about this? And she'd either go, yes, I like that, or no, I don't think that'll work, and move over there. And I like that. I don't mind being told what to do. You develop a respect for someone, and you realise that they're watching it, you're not, and that they know what they're doing. And I believe she's done an amazing job.
There's so many amazing people working on this show. Of course, you've got Dave Barclay working as the music director, Michelle David looking after choreograph. You've got Jason Bouvard looking after lighting.
Yes.
He's been doing it for nearly 30 years. That must be something that makes it special for you as well, working with such talented individuals on such an amazing performance.
Yes, and it's one of the reasons why I wanted to do it in the beginning. These people have been doing their job for a long while, and that they know what they're doing. Because in the beginning, I don't know what I'm doing. I need to learn it. We all do. So you really rely on those that have been given the job, and yes, it's paying dividends.
Well, for all of our listeners out there, Ruthless the Musical is on at the Alex Theatre in St Kilda right now, and we've got all the details of where you can grab tickets up on our website, so make sure you check out subcultureentertainment.com. Dolly Diamond, thank you so much for taking the time to chat to us. But to finish off,
absolute pleasure, yes.
What would you like to say to all of our listeners out there who are thinking about heading along and checking out Ruthless the Musical?
Well, I mean, there is a lot going on in Melbourne right now, and, you know, I mean, in your ideal world, you'd go to everything, wouldn't you?
Yep.
But what I would love is if everybody gave this small, independent theatre a go, because it really is a fun musical. It is ideal for nearly all the family, maybe not the young ones, but the other ones absolutely fun, right up to grandma, and there's a little something for everyone.